We are live, the home of the Trailblazers in beautiful Portland, Oregon. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and from the sideline, as always, our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. Also stopping by our program, one of the great point guards in NBA history, Kenny the Jet Smith. I love the nickname the Jet, by the way.
Man, appreciate the shout-out, and you know you're the guy who brought it back alive.
Well, it really happened in high school, right?
It happened in high school, but no one called me in high school, college, until the NBA. He shouted it out, and now it's stuck like fire. Now, no, I can't go anywhere. And they're like, Jet, Jet. And I'm like, Kevin Harlan started the
But
fire.
you love that.
But you
I
know,
love it.
the name has evolved. Now it's Private Jet.
It's PJ.
No, it's actually prop play now. I don't fly much.
You take a look at Montreal. They're one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA right now. No question, they've won 7 of their last 8.
And I think for Montreal, they've been on a tremendous run this season. All the pieces were in place coming into the year, and they haven't missed a beat. Great chemistry, great coaching, and potential to do some great things in the postseason.
Right. They knew teams would be gunning for them night in and night out. That's only fueled their commitment to putting a great product on the floor.
Here are the starters for Montreal. Dylan Brooks out there with Ilyasova. Then it's Gorgui Dieng, and it's Poole in at the 2 spot. It's been a quick start for Portland. It's a 3-point game. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
Rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
Point blank, this is a bad combination. If you're looking to get stops, that's not the way.
And here's Portland. And it's Hollis Jefferson with the jam.
This is why you can't afford to leave someone when Lillard has the ball.
Looking at the top 5 picks in the 2018 draft, Kenny, all of them have shown good play, tremendous promise. But if you could choose one for your team, which one would it be? I mean, the Doncic and Young and Jackson and Ayton and
if I had to go over and pick it now,
I mean, there's so many of them.
Man, I'm going straight with Doncic.
I mean, there could be only one. It's not even close.
Yeah,
Doncic is the only guy on that list that, when it's all said and done, he's got a chance to be a top 10 all-time player.
Yeah, you know what he reminds me of? A more aggressive deadlift shrink.
Ooh, I think even more than that. To me, he's a combination. I heard Larry and Magic. He's a combination of Larry and LeBron. Because
I can see that.
Magic wasn't like the scorer that those two are. Like, those guys are scorers.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
And then great passing ability. And the other thing about him, he's a better athlete, and he's a tremendous rebounder. I mean, that guy is special.
And Portland has possession after the basket by Montreal. The shot by Powell, no good.
And yeah, that old adage about being too wide open, not a thing. He just missed it.
And here's Brooks from outside. Rebound by Nurkic. Trailblazers leading by 6. Here's Powell. And that one drops for him. Powell's got 6.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Here's Dinwiddie. Again, Montreal scores. The Trailblazers on offense. Over in the corner, Lillard. Shot is good off the back rim and in. He has 5.
And this is Lillard's game. Ready to fire the moment he catches it.
Brooks outside. Some nice passing by Montreal here. Ilyasova dishes to Brooks. Fires the 3. Bangs home the trifecta.
And both teams here in a nice rhythm offensively, and that really says as much about the lack of D as it does either's O.
The shot by Powell, no good. Brooks kicks to Dinwiddie. Launches it. And another 3 for Montreal.
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure these guys can keep this up.
Yeah, both teams in the zone early. Stops have been almost impossible to come by.
C.J. McCollum, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Portland. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And taking a look at the Trail Blazers' performance here, boys, what do you think they're doing or not doing?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
You know this, the team that dictates the pace typically rules the roost. We see that here early on.
On the court right now for Montreal, Jackson is out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Green, and it's Brissett in at the 4 spot. And a wide open look for McCollum, and right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Kenny, as a freshman, you joined one of the great lineups to ever play in college basketball with guys like Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins. I mean, it was a who's who of the game.
Yeah, I know, Michael was so excited to play with me.
Was he?
He was just, as soon as I walked on
Chomping
campus.
at the bit, wasn't he?
When I
Because who
walked
is
on
this kid out
campus,
of New York
he
here?
picked me up at the airport, you know, drove me around.
He had a car?
Oh, yes, he did. But then, it was just great. Playing there with those kind of guys, it really gets you ready and prepares you for it.
Had you met Jordan before you went
On
to
a
Carolina?
visit, just on a visit.
On a visit you
But
had.
he wasn't the best player really at the time. Sam Perkins
Right.
was the guy. He was a 4-year All-American, first team. So it was Sam Perkins who everyone was in awe, and plus he was from New York.
The shot's good from Cantor.
And we'll see if they can finally hold on to a lead. It's been back and forth all night.
Both teams putting forth their best efforts right now. This is the kind of game fans pay to see.
We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Yes, that goes in. McCollum's got 13 points.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
To the inside. Roby the pass to Jackson. And another three for Montreal.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Pass to Simons. Uncovered. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Simons has got his first basket of the night.
And McCollum just wants to win. Passes like that demonstrate his unselfishness.
And first time out of the game called for Montreal.
Well, it's a players' league, but certainly coaching has its place.
Yeah, if that weren't the case, you wouldn't see so many coaching changes in the offseason.
Powell, he's jacked in for the Trailblazers. Lillard comes in for Anthony Simons. There's Green with the 3. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those 3-point attempts.
And what about our special guest? Kenny, thanks for taking the time to join us, dropping by. Always a pleasure. You add so much to the broadcast.
Man, thanks for having me. This is just great.
Thank you. And what an experience it was, Greg, to have Kenny joining us. You always know he's going to give you his honest opinion, which makes him so great.
And Kevin, and throughout his playing days and now as a broadcaster, Kenny has never pulled any punches. He'll tell it to you like it is, and that's one reason he is so beloved.
Here's McCollum. It's rebounded by Montreal.
And that is the exact type of opportunity this offense is looking to create.
You know, if you get the ball to the right guy in the right spot, more often than not, you're coming away with points.
Jackson passes to Brissett. Back to Jackson. 5 on the clock. Buries it from 3-point range. Jackson's got the lead up to 4 now for Montreal.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
And he banks in the layup. Powell's got 8 points.
You know, often we think of Dame as a scorer first, but they're reminding us of his great ability to pass the rock.
Green, the pass to Roby. The shot and game clock separated by 4. From deep. And another 3 for Montreal.
A tremendous floor spacer. Danny Green has that sniper's mentality.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And honestly, guys, in real time, I couldn't really see whether he got it off in time. But with the benefit of replay, it seems pretty clear that the clock expired just before.
We've got more in store for you right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We welcome you back. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Quite the tussle.
And returning from his sojourn, doing some in-game analysis. We laughed, we cried, we turned down the volume. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Smith.
Yay! Welcome back.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, C.J. McCollum has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
And many of those quality shots have been jumpers. A very high percentage of those in the first half.
Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Nurkic, and it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. So that's who Terry Stotts starts the second half with. Greg, as a point guard, you must have had so much fun being surrounded by so much terrific talent at UNLV.
You know, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, I mean, I could go on. And you're right, I was blessed to play alongside these guys. They were incredible talents, finishers. And, you know, you don't always appreciate it going through that moment, but the fact that we're all still close and stay in contact, man, what an awesome experience to be a part of that team.
Chemistry must have been off the charts on that team.
It was, and we had a lot of personalities, man. It was a different era back then, but I tell you, again, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Nurkic finds McCollum, and all around the rim that time before dropping in. McCollum's got 15 points.
What a professional. McCollum's reliability on offense is such a gift to his team.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
He's been a big factor in their offense tonight, making shot after shot.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. A different look now for Portland. Little, he's checked in for Norman Powell, and it's Simons in for McCollum. Trailblazers trail by 9. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Here's Simons. Got a hand on it.
On the block shot, Dillon won't beat you with length, but he does have good lift off the floor.
And he uses the glass on the layup. That's 10 points for Brooks.
Just crushing it here. 80% to start the half.
And here are the Trailblazers now. Pass to Little. Here's Simons. Tipped away. High post, Nurkic. From 16 feet away, he cans it. Nurkic has got his first points of the game.
3 out of 4 coming out of the half, showing good execution on the offensive end.
From deep, Brooks. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Brooks has got the lead up to 12 now for Montreal. And here's Portland. Down low, puts it up, and Nurkic finishes inside.
And such a polished player near the basket. Nurkic feels comfortable taking those in-close shots.
Montreal calls timeout.
Well, you look at the career that Dame Lillard has had so far. Taken 6th in the 2012 draft out of Weber State, a small school, but this guy became a franchise player immediately for the Blazers.
Cantor checked in for the Trailblazers. Brissett passes to Roby. Can't hit from in close.
Whoops. Got caught in between moves there on his way to the rack.
Here's Little. Banked in off the glass. And thinking of Lillard, the numbers over his career are incredible.
And Lillard found his strength as a shooter, and boy, did he exploit it. He's been averaging 20 points per game almost his entire career, and he's kept adding to his game as one of the elite players in our league.
And Portland making a change here. Collins is checked in. Montreal shooting their first free throw of the night here. Free throw no good from Dinwiddie. Trailblazers trail by 10. Ahead. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Collins has got his second basket of the game.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammates after that one.
Rondo lays it up and banks it in. And Montreal leads by 10.
And the strength of Rondo finishing through contact.
51 seconds left here in the third quarter. At the elbow, Collins. The shot will not fall. And it's Montreal the other way. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Collins with some nice D. And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for Portland. Pulls it up. That one a little long.
Can't fault the play call. Even though he couldn't convert, that's a good shot.
And that one's good by Roby. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's his first foul. How about that strong defensive performance for this half's Mobile One block?
And those are plays that get you in front and keep you in front.
Lillard attacking, and Damian Lillard with the jam.
Almost unstoppable on the drive. Lillard's talent for ball handling, letting him just cut through the defense.
Shots good by Green.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
You know what? They talked about this at halftime, and they're doing a better job of creating space.
And so it's Montreal looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court right now for Montreal, we've got Green. Rajon Rondo is out there with Jackson. And it's Roby in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
And we talk about court awareness. There, McCollum doing a beautiful job spotting the open man.
Wasted no time on that one. And Montreal leads by 16.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Well, the superstar players always get the headlines, but you need more great role players, it seems, as you look at the history of champions, to win. So that being said, Greg, what kind of role players do you look for?
You know, Kevin, it starts on your best player, and I think you go from there. Obviously, in today's game, spot-up shooting is critically important, and then you got to factor in versatility. You need guys that can guard multiple positions, that give you some rim protection, but obviously that can also shoot the basketball. And I think it's critical having that instant offense guy coming off the bench as well, to when your team's in a bit of a funk, somebody you can trust to kind of light a fire.
Good points. Nurkic checked in for the Trailblazers. Lillard finds Nurkic. And finished off by Nurkic.
And you can't allow Nurkic to get that kind of position. When you do, he is going to rattle that rim.
Now here's McCollum, guarded closely. A quick shot there, and it's off target.
The defense is right there. Quality contest, and they threw him off his rhythm.
And Poole gets it to go. Trailblazers trail by 17. To the paint. Here's Lillard. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got his 5th assist in this one. Montreal calls timeout. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, Montreal's head coach talked to his team during that timeout. He likes where things are headed, but he cautioned them to play smart the rest of the way. He said carelessness with the ball, with assignments, with rotations, any of that can undo what we've worked to accomplish so far. Kevin, they are so close.
You know, Rondo takes great pleasure at slicing and dicing up the defense. One of the best passers in the game.
Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defenders. Yeah, he's in such a great rhythm right now. Makes sense to get him the ball any way you can.
Let him decide whether to shoot it, whether to pass it. He's your catalyst right now.
Trailblazers trail by 14. Goes up. And the dunk by Powell.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
And I just love it when the fast break results in a high percentage look. Not always the case these days.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Down the stretch of last season, Greg, we saw some teams resting healthy players, even ones out of the playoff hunt. And they got fined. But is the amount, which I think is about $25,000, is that enough to discourage that tactic?
You know, I don't think it is. Not when team revenues are measured in the hundreds of millions. You got to do more to keep them honest. But by the same token, you know, if I get 100, 200 million invested in a guy, I want to protect my investment. And so if I can rest them here or there and prolong their career, I think my organization's all the better for it.
You know, you look at the 2020 class for the Basketball Hall of Fame, Greg, some great names, headlined by Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. I mean, historic players.
And all the more emotional, Kevin, having Kobe enshrined after his tragic passing. But when you look at the accomplishments of this class, arguably the most decorated that the Hall of Fame has ever seen.
And Greg, you've gotten a bird's eye view. You've gotten a front court view. You've had a chance to be alongside these Hall of Fame players.
Incredible talents, great people, and truly they've been terrific ambassadors for our game.
That one goes in. McCollum's got 5 points now this quarter.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for Montreal.
And they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, for them throughout this game.
Listen, they certainly weren't coasting despite what the score looks like. I love the way they came together, though, when everything started to look a little dire and really put the hammer down.
And this will make it 36 wins on the year for them.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Brooks.
And how many times throughout the course of the evening did he make a momentum-changing play? I thought his relentlessness really keyed their success.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Hollis Jefferson, the bounce pass. And he gets the bucket.
And you got to like that they found something positive here, something that maybe carry overs into the next game.
They put together some great possessions here at the end. It's a shame they could have used this run much earlier.
Powell, that's good.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Here's Jang. Good.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, they've become reliant upon their perimeter game.
You know, when you're raining threes, you can stack up points in a hurry.